democratic splendor and center of excellence with over 20 million residents, is Nigeria's smallest but most populous state. It is the heartbeat of the nation's economic and financial activities. It also has the biggest and pace-setting economy in Nigeria and the 5th largest in Africa. The foundation of these achievements were laid during the tenure of the first military governor, Brigadier Mobolaji Johnson, in 1967. Upon creation, Lagos grabbed the opportunity to aggregate all its potentials for a fast and robust development. Attention was given to infrastructural development and the provision of services, and the state was set on the path of prosperity thenceforth.
Lagos State, when we got it, it was a cosmopolitan city, and we have it at a stage of development that I feel that we have to develop it further to meet the yearning of in the 21st century of people of Lagos. They built the Eco Bridge, and we went into building some other infrastructures depending on what area of people's life you want to touch on, like health, agriculture, and we went about this by taking the bull by the horn.
Subsequent administrations sustained this phenomenal growth through administrative continuity that cuts across military and civilian administrations, policy consistency, strong governmental institutions and structures, as well as a core of workers that are devoted to their call of duty. Across the administrations, indelible footprints were made in every facet of the state's development. These were expressed in construction and expansion of various trunk roads infrastructure to link various parts of the state, establishment of grassroots-driven healthcare delivery system, and the establishment of primary, secondary, and tertiary health institutions, including the increase in educational facilities during the tenure of Governor Lateef Jakonde that abolished the school shift system, and Asiwaju Bola Tinubu that redefined and re-engineered the state's finances.
We believe that Lagos will thrive as a state. You know, the revenue of Lagos State at birth was £3 million. But the hope that it will remain the heart of the body, the heart of Nigeria, the best states, that have been laid down by all the people who made Lagos society, especially political society, in the 40s and before the 40s.
Lagos is also unique in that it is the best administered territory in Nigeria because of the quality of governance, which has been getting better consistently over a number of years. It's easier to get many things done in Lagos than in most parts.
Historically, Lagos dates back to the earliest times. According to tradition, Ogunfunminire led a band of Awori migrants to settle first at Isheri, from where they moved to Ebutemeta, later Ido. The Ijebus came through Shagamu and Ijebu-Ode to settle at Ikorodu and Ekpe respectively, while the Ogus settled at Badagry. It was these people that first occupied the geographical space now known as Lagos State. Other migrants came to reinforce the presence of the earlier groups. Prominent among these were the Benin that exercised considerable political influence over Lagos, the Tapas with their culture, and the slave returnees, especially from Sierra Leone and Brazil, amongst others. From a confederal system of government, Lagos by early 17th century began the monarchical system with the Ado as the first king. The political system grew so strong to the extent that It was partly responsible for the bombardment of Lagos by the British in 1851 and the secession in 1861. Because the social, economic and political realities effectively supported a well-structured administrative setup, Lagos became the preferred choice as the de facto capital of Nigeria following the amalgamation of the Northern and Southern Protectorates in 1914, a position it retained after independence.
Anybody who knows Lagos at different stages of that, what I would call reconstruction program, cannot but be impressed by the stage Lagos is in now. Those of us who knew Lagos when there was only one plank bridge linking what do you call that, Bar Beach with Marina. You know, each one of you put your leg this way like to cross, and you see what is there now. The third mainland bridge, the lightening up of Lagos. I mean, I came into Lagos in 1955, so you can imagine there was one road linking Ikorodu and all the way, you know, and then you bust into Tinubu, to the Tinubu Square. And now Lagos has become a mega modern city.
Economically, it is a fact of history that the economy of Lagos thrives on commerce. The Ijebus to the east and the Ogus to the west established thriving businesses with Lagos Island, trading in clothes, mats and other produce. Lagos also came in contact first with the Portuguese and later the Brazilians. This contact blossomed into a relationship built on trading and commerce. The people displayed their business prowess by establishing trading contact with Bahia and had a representative there during the reign of Oba Akinsemoyin in 1704. The commercial activities blossomed across the coastal settlements and led to the construction in Badagry of the oldest story building in Nigeria, the growth of Lagos Island as the nucleus of commerce, the development of Ejiri in Ekpe as the nation's first commercial hub, having the first post office in Nigeria, the first inland seaport in Nigeria, and a 300-store capacity market built by the colonialists, as well as the construction of the oldest fuel service station at Yaba.
Former President Olusegun Obasanjo at the Premier Club Island Club on October 29, 2003. That was the day I turned 60. He said it with his own mouth. You either love Lagos or you leave Lagos. The success of Lagos is the success of Nigeria. And any money federal government spends in Lagos here, they will get it back in geometrical progression.
In the whole of West Africa, Lagos is number one. It's the best place. You bring anything to sell and you sell it. It's the best for business. Very, very good for business.
Fired by undying entrepreneurial spirit of the people, Lagos has grown in leaps and bounds to become the economic capital of the nation, boasting of industrial complexes, thousands of commercial concerns, and yes, a free trade zone that is fast becoming the nation's largest industrial hub. Lagos is now part of Oodua Group, following its absorption into the family.
As a government, you must invest in infrastructure. When you invest, that's when it's like us in business. If we don't invest, we don't make money. So they too, once they keep investing, people keep looking at what they have and then they will come. So Lagos will be greater as we go with time.
If you're going to be in Nigeria, then you're going to be in Lagos as well. You could be headquartered somewhere else, but you need a presence in Lagos because Lagos is the biggest. Its demography is quite interesting, and it's diversification across nationalities. It's not just a Nigerian market; it's an international market. So Lagos is attractive, and there's no question about that.
Lagos is home to Nigeria's capital and money markets. It is a maritime city hosting the Apapa and Tinkan ports, the busiest terminals in West Africa. It is the second largest contributor to Nigeria's gross domestic product (GDP) and leading contributor to the non-oil sector. Similarly, Lagos's gross national product, the GNP, triples that of any West African country, with an economic size that is the 5th largest in Africa. If it were a country, Lagos is Africa's financial center.
Well, there's the natural endowment. Lagos State is blessed with a coastline. We have over 50 kilometers of coastline in Lagos State. That natural endowment that it has makes it indeed a natural hub for maritime activities. But beyond that, infrastructure has been deployed in Lagos State. One of the first deployment of port infrastructure was done here. So that makes Lagos where you would consider a destination for maritime activities. In furtherance to that, the fact that there's a population, there's a thriving business community, there's a thriving environment for any cargo that is brought into the country, comes into Lagos. In certain instances, the cargo is unbundled, warehoused, and initial sales starts from Lagos. So beyond even the coastline, we also have the natural commercial hub and commercial activities that domicile within the state.
Many of us started from Lagos. Almost every successful business person, they all started from Lagos. If they had started in some other states, they would definitely blossom in Lagos. So it has to qualify as the state, and Lagos itself as a city that nurtures dream and fulfills people's ambition and people's initiatives and people's visions.
In addition to the opportunities that abound here, the tolerance, receptive and welcoming nature of the people is one of the major factors responsible for the accelerated expansion of Lagos.
You have a listening government, from Asiwaju Tinubu when he was governor of Lagos State, to Fashola, and also the present one. And everybody is following, improving of what was started by their previous people. The government is always interacting with us, always inviting us to hear our views.
We provided an environment in which so many people thrived, irrespective of where you came from. The important thing was, did you feel Lagos at heart? Did you feel Lagos as your home? Did you feel Lagos as a place you could protect? Did you feel Lagos as a place you could contribute to? And all those who take those answers positively found a place where their full ambitions were met and realized successfully.
Lagos is the most urbanized cosmopolitan in West Africa and has one of the most diversified population in Africa, with many cultures, traditions and festivals. It reflects a good mix of tradition and modernization, religion and culture. Eyo or Adamurisha play and the Fanti Carnival are synonymous with Lagos Island. Agere is identified with the Aworis. Ebi, showcasing different masquerades, boat regattas and Kayo festivals are common in Ekpe. The Ogus also have the Sangbeto, Sato drummers, Oya and Paje Bologun, while the Tapas brought Igunuko amongst many others. The cultural diversity of the different groups continue to add value to the state. During the selection of the current Oba of Lagos on Friday 23rd of May 2003 and the formal coronation on Saturday 9th August of the same year. Part of activities marking the celebration of Lagos State at 50, the Adamurisha play, or Eyo, was also staged to reinforce the state's tradition. From a sparsely populated settlement, the growth of the state reflects the steady progress that has been made in the last 50 years and beyond. It is a sign of the state's potentials and a greater future already in the making through the emerging Eco-Atlantic city. The various development projects being undertaken at Lekki, Ekpe and Badagry axis, as well as the Lagos megalopolis, extending beyond the northern part of the state into Ogun State.
Without Lagos State, there will be another country, not Nigeria. In fact, there's no major politician in Nigeria that did not derive or did not drink from the pool of wisdom and ability from Lagos.
As the state enters another phase of its existence, Lagos faces the future with strong, bold and ambitious steps being demonstrated through the Lagos Smart City project, an idea conceived to extend the Dubai Knowledge Cluster model to create a network of interconnected, self-sustaining knowledge-based communities that drive knowledge economy.
When you have a vision, once you have good executors, implementers of that vision, sometimes in an environment like ours, it takes a little bit of time. But in the next 5 years, for example, people will see how best Lagos could be. Lagos will actually go to the next trajectory, and I think it's going to be an excellent place.
I want to dream 20 years ahead of my time, so that when I go and sleep, people can actually say, you know what, some people saw Lagos of tomorrow. I want to see a Lagos of tomorrow. I want a Lagos where it's the third largest economy in Africa.
With a burgeoning population, expanding economy, and increasing opportunities, everything seems on course for the center of excellence. Lagos remains steady even as the future beckons.